Okay, we're taking a look at homework practice 10-3. Again, different strategies we're giving the students using mental math. So use any strategy to find 358 plus 213. So one strategy the students could do is they could add the hundreds together, the tens together, and the ones together. They could add together the partial sums. Here, the 500 plus 60 plus 11. They can also stack it. They can do a number line because it says any strategy that they'd like to use. But for this one, I'm going to go ahead and do the partial sums. So when we take a look at that, this is really 200 plus 40 plus 8 plus 400 plus 50 plus 5. So we're going to start and do the hundreds first. So 200 plus 400 is 600. And then we're going to do the tens. 40 plus 50 is 90. Plus 8 plus 5 is 13. So 600 plus 90 plus 13. Let's go ahead and do this one first. 90 plus 13 we know is 103 plus 600 equals 703. So again, this one we're just using the partial sums method of adding the hundreds plus tens plus ones. They're welcome to do it any way they want to. In fact, they're really great at stacking the numbers and just adding traditionally. But for this practice, we're just going to go through and do them individually. So 209 is 200 plus 0. I'm going to put 2 in there for my tens, plus 9, plus 300 plus 70 plus 6. So let's go through this way. This is 500 because 200 plus 300 is 500. And this here is going to be 0 plus 70 equals 70. And 9 plus 6 equals 15. If we take a look at this, again, if the students want to take a look at this, the tens plus ones are 8. And the tens plus tens are 8. And the ones plus the ones are 5. So 500 plus 85 we know is going to be 585. Okay, 597 plus 122. Again, we're going to do partial sums. So I'm going to break this up into 500 plus 90 plus 2. And this is going to be 122. So 100 plus 20 plus 2. Okay, so 500 plus 100 is 600. 90 plus 20, because we know 9 plus 2 is 11, it's going to be 110 plus 4. So let's take a look and do this first. Okay, 0 plus 0 is 0. 0 plus 1 is 1. 6 plus 1 is 7. So 710 plus 4 puts us at, let me see if I've got this right. I feel like I missed something here. Oh, because this is a 7. Sorry. 7 plus 2 is 11. I'm sorry, 7 plus 2 is 9. What is going on with my brain this morning? I'm trying to do this before class. Is 9. So we've got 710 plus 9 equals 719. Sorry about that. It is early in the morning, 719. Okay, let's go ahead and flip to the other side here, and we are going to write each one of the missing numbers. So this is some algebra, so it's kind of into a math mystery. Okay, so 285 plus 507. I'm just going to do this the old-fashioned way on this one. I'm just going to stack them and add them. 7 plus 5 is 12. We've got to regroup, put the 2 from the ones down, and regroup over here. 1 group of 10s plus 8 group of 10s is going to be 9 groups of 10. And 2 plus 5 is 7. It's going to be 792. Here for our sum that we're trying to find out, we're just going to basically add it backwards. Okay, I know that 8 plus 2 is 10. I know that 7 plus 4. This is really 70 plus 40. 70 plus 40 is going to be 110. And then 100 plus 300, I know, is going to be 400. So we have 400 plus 110 is going to be, let's see, yeah, we've got our additional 10 here. So we've done our 400 and our 110. So 0 plus 0 is 0. 0 plus 1 is 1. 4 plus 1 is 5. 510 plus 10 is going to be 520. Now this one we have a missing number. So let's take a look. 1 plus something equals 2. Well, 1 plus 1 equals 2. Okay? 3 plus something equals 0. Now this is when it gets a little bit tricky. So 3 plus something really isn't going to equal 0, but we have to think of a number that we'd add together where we'd have a 0 in that digit. So 3 plus 7 would equal 10, which means we're adding one more over here to our hundreds place. So if we're adding one over here to our hundreds place, we have 4 plus something plus 1. So if we have 4 plus 1, that's 5, 6, 7, 8 to get us up there. So 371. That's a really tricky one. They could also, if they wanted to do a different strategy, they could do 802 minus 431 and solve it out that way. Because 2 minus 1 is 1. 0 minus 3 is not going to work. So we have to regroup. That's our 10. And this becomes 7. So 10 minus 3 is 7. 7 minus 4 is 3. So 2 different strategies there. Okay. This is our Common Core assessment. When we see things like this, lets us know it's going to be on things like this. Problems like this will be on the test. Okay, find the total number of buttons for each. Use the chart. Add any way you choose. Mrs. Jones buys all of the animal and fruit buttons. So, animal and fruit. Animal is 378. And the fruit buttons are 296. Okay, and I'm just going to stack it because, again, the students are experts at it, but they can do partial sums or solve it however they want to. So 378 plus 296. 8 plus 6 is 14. We put down the 4, regroup, 1 in the tens place. I like to try and make it multiples of 10. So 9 plus 1 is 10, plus 7 we know is 17. Have to regroup again a second time. 1 plus 3 is 4, plus 2 more is 6, so 674. And what does she have? 674 buttons. Okay, Mr. Frost buys all of the sport and holiday buttons. So sport is 142, and holiday is 455. So again, I'm just going to go through and stack it. 142 plus 455. This one looks like we don't even need to regroup. 2 plus 5 is 7. 4 plus 5 is 9. 1 plus 4 is 5. So 597 total buttons. Okay, higher order thinking. A theater wants to add 140 seats. Then the theater will have a total of 375 seats. How many seats does the theater have now? So we want to know how many it has now. We don't know. So question mark plus 140 equals 375. So we could try to figure out the mystery number, but the easiest way is to go through and just subtract it. So we have 375. We are going to take away this 140 because we haven't really added it yet. They want to add that 140 seats, but we really haven't done it yet. So let's figure out what this original number is. 5 minus 0 is 5. 7 minus 4 is 3. And 3 minus 1 is 2. So our original number is 235 seats. Okay, here's our final assessment. Rob has 225 marbles. Jake has 69 more marbles than Rob. How many marbles do they have in all? So we actually have to solve two parts. Okay, I'm going to put an R here for Rob. Rob has 225 marbles. Jake has 69 more marbles than Rob. So Jake has 225 plus 69. So we need to go through and add this up. So I'm just going to stack it over here to find how many Jake has. 225 plus 69. So my paper keeps moving. 5 plus 9 is 14. 2 plus 6 is 8, plus 1 more is 9. 2 plus nothing is just 2. So 294. 294. So now we need to add 225 plus 294. I am out of room. So let's go ahead and go 294 plus 225. 4 plus 5 is 9. 9 plus 2 is 11. We're going to have to regroup. 2 plus 2 is 4, plus 1 more is 5. So 519, which is C.